From a golf club of his very own to private jets and million-dollar mansions, Michael Jordan sure knows how to spend his hard-earned money. And with a net worth of $1.7 billion, can you really blame him? But let's just say that some of his purchases can get a little crazy. Just take his exclusive golf course, for instance. Jordan is totally obsessed with golf. He spends a ton of time on the course, honing his skills and perfecting his game. In 2021, a nickname for his exclusive golf course, Grove 23, started making the rounds. The nickname Slaughterhouse 23 quickly caught on, and it's not hard to see why. The name stuck because MJ himself designed the course to be an absolute beast and crush his competition. It was basically made by him for his exact needs. He even has a sweet Carolina blue golf cart with his Jumpman logo on it. This exclusive course in Florida is seriously swanky. They have all sorts of crazy amenities like a drone that brings beer and snacks straight to the players on the course. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, and it's just one of the many reasons why Grove 23 is one of the coolest golf courses around. If you're lucky enough to play there, you'll definitely feel like a total VIP. But that's barely scratching the surface. The thing that Jordan spends a huge chunk of his money on is pretty true to his brand, and I mean that literally. Michael Jordan loves himself some Jordans. Did you know that Michael Jordan almost signed with Adidas back in '84? But Adidas passed on him because they were only interested in players who were 7 feet tall or more? Haha, what a mistake. Nike swooped in and signed MJ for just $250,000 a year, and it turned out to be the best decision they ever made. Today, the Jordan brand brings in a whopping $5 billion a year in revenue. That's a lot of sneakers. One reason the Jordan brand is so popular is its ability to stay relevant. They've partnered with celebs to reach a younger audience, and they've released new versions of retro kicks to appeal to older fans. They know how to connect with people, and it shows. In fact, the Jordan brand is so cool that they've even teamed up with the Fortnite video game. It's just another example of how the brand is always pushing the envelope and trying new things. Who knows what they'll come up with next? Golf course and sneakers aside, MJ is also a prominent philanthropist and gives away a lot of his wealth to charity. That's right, in 2020, he donated a whopping $2 million of his earnings from the Last Dance docuseries to feeding America's food banks in Chicago and the Carolinas. But that's not all. In the wake of George Floyd's killing and the nationwide protests that followed, Jordan and Nike's Jordan brand pledged to donate $100 million over 10 years to organizations fighting for racial equality, social justice, and education. And this isn't the first time he's put his money where his mouth is. Back in 2016, after a string of police shootings, Jordan pledged 2 major donations to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the International Association of Chiefs of Police's new Institute for Community Police Relations. He's not afraid to speak out on important issues. In 2017, Jordan continued his philanthropic streak by donating $7 million to at-risk communities in Charlotte, North Carolina. He used the money to launch 2 medical clinics in troubled areas of the city, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. It's clear that Jordan is more than just a basketball legend. He's a force for good in the world. But that doesn't mean he doesn't splurge every once in a while. Let's move on to the fun stuff: cars and private jets. One thing's for sure, this basketball legend's got style for days. MJ has reached billionaire status, making him the first athlete ever to do so. And that means he can do absolutely whatever he wants, including buying a Gulfstream G550 jet for $61.5 million and decking it out with his iconic Jumpman logo and his initials, alongside his jersey number and number of championship titles. Now that's what you call a custom piece. And get this, in 2017, he gave it a sick makeover by painting it over in the Air Jordan elephant print design. It's like a flying sneaker. How cool is that? But wait, there's more. MJ's car collection is just as extravagant as his private jet. He's got a Chevrolet C4, a Porsche 930 Turbo Cabriolet, a 1991 Toyota Land Cruiser, and an Aston Martin. His most recent purchases include a McLaren Mercedes SLR 722 and a Bugatti Veyron Sang Noir. Can you imagine cruising around in any one of these babies? With all that style and class, it's no wonder MJ is considered the greatest player of all time by the National Basketball Association. This guy knows how to roll in style no matter where he goes. And as if all this wasn't enough luxury, the man even owns his own basketball team. The basketball legend might have hung up his jersey, but he's still very much involved in the world of basketball. He made a name for himself as the GOAT during his prime playing for the Chicago Bulls from 1984 to 1993, and he's still got the world-class skills to prove it. Even though he retired from the Washington Wizards in 2003, his passion for the game never fizzled out. In 2010, he purchased the Charlotte Hornets basketball team for $175 million and became a 97% owner. Since then, the team's value has skyrocketed to over $1.7 billion according to Forbes. MJ sold a minority stake in the club in 2019, but he's not ready to give up total control just yet. He's patiently waiting for the day the Hornets win a championship. And he's even said that winning as an owner would be more satisfying than any of his 6 rings as a player. I mean, it's clear that MJ is still in the game and loving every moment of it. And naturally, no one is a billionaire without having the mansion to prove it. In 2012, MJ splurged a whopping $12.8 million to build his dream house in Florida. And that's not all. He also has a stunning $2.8 million house near Charlotte, North Carolina that offers some breathtaking views of the lake. Here's the deal though. Jordan has been trying to sell his mansion in Chicago for quite some time now. Originally listed at a staggering $29 million, the estate's gate even bears his iconic jersey number. But the house is still on the market and the price has dropped to $14.9 million. It's estimated that Jordan has shelled out over $680,000 in property taxes since he first put up the house for sale. Despite the mansion being nothing short of luxurious, all the customizations the house has undergone to become Jordan's personal palace may be one of the reasons why it hasn't sold yet. I mean, let's be real, who wants to live in a house with a giant 23 on the gate? But spending millions on real estate isn't all that Jordan is passionate about. He also loves his tequila. So it's only natural for him to want to share that love with the world. In 2019, MJ co-founded Cincoro Tequila with Jeannie Buss, Wes Edens, Emilia Fazzolari, along with fellow billionaire and majority owner of the Boston Celtics, Whit Grousbeck. Talk about a dream team. The name Cincoro originated from a combination of a Spanish translation for 5 and gold, and was created to introduce a smoother, more refined variety of tequila compared to what's already on the shelf. Only in July 2021 was CEO of Cincoro Tequila, Emilio Fazzolari, rejoicing over the sales of the tequila, which more than tripled since the previous year. Michael Jordan might just have the Midas touch, since everything he touches seems to turn to gold. Well, there you have it. That's how Michael Jordan spends his millions.